with another episode of Sessions with Mary Jane. I'm one of your three hosts, Jordan.
And I'm also one of the three hosts, Brendan.
And I'm also one of the three hosts, Reena.
And together we are Late Night Hump.
And we are here with a wonderful guest who we love very much, Lauren Ajoloko. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. We are knee deep in Enneagram. Am I saying that right?
I've heard two different ones. What you got?
Oh, so we got snacks for you too.
Oh,
yes, you brought great goodies.
Guys, we're having a Thanksgiving feast over here. We are sharing and trading of snacks.
Perfect.
One of the most healthiest stoner snack I've ever had.
Peanut Crunch or
Cheeky Bite?
Oh yeah, we're vegans. So.
I brought Doritos.
Oh, it's all good.
I love Cool Ranch Doritos, so don't worry about
Those are okay, but the Haribo has gelatin though.
Yeah.
You're bad vegans.
Damn.
Yeah, sometimes you cheat.
Bad
What can we
vegans.
say?
Thanks.
Okay, I do deadbeat vegan, which is how I walked in and Reena was like, oh, "You look so youthful," and I was just like, "This is gonna be great." Because I dropped a bunch of weight over COVID because I was like, "What else are you gonna do? Might as well focus on this." It's like the one thing you can finally control, and you literally have no other options because you can't control anything that's going on.
Yes.
So when the world caught on fire.
Yeah.
So you had one option. You could ignore the thing. Like you literally, it's like you have chores to do for the day. Like brush your teeth, get up. Well, get up.
No, do it when you're sleeping, then get up.
Work that one out. And then, make your bed, have breakfast, go to school, come home, eat dinner, go to bed. And maybe wash the dog and take out the trash. You've got that one thing that you're gonna wait till right before you go to bed, and usually it's taking the trash out because you don't want to do it. And that's what I feel like for a lot of people. When you got into COVID, it was like, okay, well, I can't do anything fun I like. I could control one thing, like keeping my house really clean or really watching what I eat because I have nothing else to really focus on besides most people got completely fucked by Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that last bit after there was an ad about getting a special type of Zoom discount? I'm like, oh, those bitches are gonna get thirsty quick. And I realized they are obviously
Not that anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Google Meet came out with their thing, or Apple's. Does Apple have one?
I know, but none of it really impressed me all that much, to be honest. I thought there would be more flash by now. I thought they were really going to try
video conferencing.
Yeah. Yes.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that it's happening because I don't know, I'm 15 minutes older than you. Did you guys ever watch Star Trek: The Next Generation?
No, I wasn't really a Star Trek guy.
Star Wars person, didn't get in Star Trek.
Me neither.
Well, you're all lost souls because they really took the graphics for FaceTime basically. There was and I remember being 6 and 7, being like, oh my god, that would be amazing if we ever lived someplace where that happened. And I remember being first or second grade thinking that. My dad was like, yeah, maybe it will in a couple of decades because things would happen that. And then you got the Motorola Razr. That was from that flipper thing on Star Trek. And now we've got FaceTime, and I'm like, teleport me now! I'm just I'll be dead. I'm I so want to be alive in 500 years.
Yeah. Oh. What's the animated show that the Jetsons?
Yeah.
That was very interesting though, when people were kids watching that, and it's just oh yeah, what are we gonna have now that replicates whatever. Also just really, really fun, watching the imagination people had with TV and movies that actually influence culture and maybe meant, or people were just we can create this now. Sorry, lights flash in the background. Yeah.
Okay,
Lauren is just what just happened?
I've been here for 3 minutes before and this didn't happen.
I know.
It's over.
That happens. There are several moments during our podcast where all of a sudden there will just be a moment where someone has that happen to them.
The ghost here telling you they really like what you're talking about.
So before we get into before we go back to Brendan, I am just gonna say this so we can slip it out here so you have the length of the podcast to do it. You have a challenge to list as many celebrity moms as you can. You can interrupt at any time. The fun thing we do with our guests while we also just get into really cool conversations. So,
Lauren, you have your arms crossed you're not.
Yeah, I know any celebrity moms.
Come on, you all moms hang out together, right?
It's called a challenge,
Exactly.
Lauren. I don't know what to tell you.
I at first I'm It's just because my uterus exploded a few times. That's the only reason why I qualify for this category. Fuck you guys. And now I'm just like, no, maybe they know that I just don't actually know that kind of shit because I don't care about celebrity moms at all. I actively avoided that shit. That moment I got pregnant, I was like, fuck these people.
Yeah.
And their opinions don't even matter because they're like billionaires. And what do they fucking actually know?
Well, I don't know. They have a lot of money.
Yeah, so
It
they're
was
going to
something.
actually put up what they want or what they agree to. They just want the more money. So buy your shit. Oh man, I got really ranty real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, you hear that, celebrity moms? You're done.
Don't worry about that.
They're not interesting.
But Brendan, you were saying you were trying to pronounce the name of the test.
Yes, Enneagram.
Well, oh my god, you're right. Yes.
At the end of it, they make you pay for it. I did not pay
No,
for
but
it.
you can take
Did you get a
screenshots.
screenshot of your results?
No, they didn't give it to me.
Oh, damn, I'm already 4 pages in.
There's only 6 pages. And there's
I know.
only 10 questions. Each.
Unless I have to scroll down deeper.
No,
Yeah, I gotta go.
Well, we can just explain what the test is.
Okay, so
Someone
the
told us to do
Enneagram-
this.
I can just tell you, okay, so they have numbers 1 through 9, and there's different, like, I don't want to say genres because I don't feel like that's accurate, but for lack of a better word, genres of personality. So, like, 1 is the achiever, I think, 2 is the caregiver, 3 is the, I don't remember.
Firefighter? No.
Or wrestler at this point.
Yeah, it's pro wrestler. Yeah, I knew it.
So anyway, that's Brendan. So, and then 4 is the individual, 5 is the seeker, or like they want information all the time. 6, I think, I don't know, but there's none of them says like the narcissist. Like there's none of that.
Gotcha,
Like it just definitely gives you like where you fall into these different categories.
Yeah.
9 is the enthusiast.
So you know what you were?
Yeah, I know what I am.
What?
You can also have a wing. So okay, so say you're really close, and then you have like a main number. So say you could be a 2, and you could either have a 3 or a 1 wing. So it's whatever in that triad is the second runner up.
Yes.
So what I am?
Yes.
I am a 4 with a 5 wing. So that's the individual, and a 5 who likes to gather information. So I think of myself as like a rainbow fluorescent translucent squirrel who's like got this really bougie tail. Like I want to gather all this stuff, but I have to be myself.
I love that visual. I love that
It just came. The lights help. It really came to me. Like
yay!
Yeah.
So you said that you had an hour. You had an hour drive
Yeah.
coming here. Where were you coming from?
I came from Monroe, New York.
Monroe,
Oh, wow.
and you've
Yeah.
been there how long?
You guys always forget that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been there,
I've been there for 5 years.
and you grew up around that area, or you
No,
grew up-
I grew up in upstate, but like real upstate.
Real
because,
upstate.
Like, if you can get the Metro North, it's not upstate. So you have to get on Scamtrak, then that's upstate. So I grew up in the Albany area.
Oh wow, yeah,
But not in
Mom's-
Albany.
Mom's from Albany.
Oh yeah, yes, we've made chats about this.
Mhm.
That was
Made
years
chat.
ago.
Yeah, it's so long ago.
We haven't seen each other in a
Look at
while.
chat
Oh my god. No, it's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
something called a pandemic.
I know.
In between, kind of.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys. I missed seeing you guys every week. It was so nice.
Oh.
It's true, we were consistently seeing each other so much.
I know. I was like, yeah, guys. And I was like, and then the vibe. Oh my god, the vibe changed real quick. And I was like, where's the joy? Like, there's like 2 people that are just like, yeah, there's the joy. But sometimes it's really cranky. And that's fine because people are people. But like, when you guys,
Interesting.
I miss seeing you guys every week. It was so nice.
Yes, well, now we're here. Now the joy is here. So you can come over here whenever you want.
I will definitely Uber here next time.
Yeah.
So how was it like growing up in Albany? Did your parents also have a farm, or you were?
See, that's it. Okay, and also, the thing I was gonna say is I grew up just outside of it in the town of Colony. However, I want you guys to tell me within 5 seconds after I say this, I'm gonna count to 5. And you all have to yell out a number. How many hours does it take to get from Albany to Canada? Go. 5, 4,
4.5.
3.
Who said 4.5? Bam!
Wow, good
I
job,
know
Brendan.
driving.
And the reason why is because most people are like, wow, right by Canada. I'm like, fuck you! Like, I'm closer to you than I am to Canada. So, anyway.
Canada? Wow, forget those people.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's 2 of the 3 of you.
So,
Not
like young little Lauren, wanted to know, knew she wanted to do something creative all along, or you kind of like, who were you as a child? Like, what was like you're like, yes, I'm gonna color this coloring book all day long. Or you're like, no, I'm gonna build these Legos
All day long.
Remember that I went to art school? Is that where you?
No, I don't think we talked about
I know
that.
we talked about welding once.
Yes.
Did we?
Whoa.
I know we're gonna reminisce.
Oh no, we were talking about making stuff because you and I were talking about the urn that you brought on stage,
Yeah,
and then something
yes,
else you
yeah.
wanted to build, and I was like, well, you can weld this, and you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Reena did indeed bring Urn on stage. That's right.
yeah, that was
I
really funny.
did. Whether it's full or empty, you guys will have to find that out. Yeah, wait, tell us about art school.
Oh, so like, we want to go way back. Like, I was always like coloring everywhere. Like, you can give me like a giant roll-out thing of paper, and I would just draw for like 3 hours. So content and happy. And it was one of the only times that I actually felt really focused. That I could actually completely focus on doing something and like have my mind completely blank. It was very meditative, no matter what it was. And then, like, you know, I went to like high school and moved on from there, and it was just kind of like, shit, I need to make money in life. So, yeah, then I went to Alfred University, which is way out there in Western New York, but also upstate. But I feel like New
Like
York-
Buffalo Western or
Yes, yeah, like but south. So I called
Southwest.
It, I called it like Pennsylvania because that was very much the vibe. So I was like, fuck you.
No.
Okay, because I have like shorts on. I'm like, Rita can see right up my ass.
It's a good view either way.
I mean, you're welcome. I'm part of the couch now.
You have to mark territory sometimes. So.
Well, I did it. And I
Yeah.
did it in a very like Sheldon Cooper kind of spot way too. I was like, I would be here.
Happy zone, yeah.
That was like,
Imagine being a dog and just like walking by, you're like, I'm gonna mark a spot today. I'm so excited to mark my territory. And then you get there and you're like, damn, a dog has peed here already. You just go back home. No territory
You pee
claim.
over their pee.
yeah, you pee over the pee.
You do. Oh, so it's like a capture the flag kind of scenario.
And like some dogs go more than one location. We have
Because they're like,
dogs
I want
that
this,
so
and fucking this, and this, and this.
exactly.
Oh, so it's the most
he did more
recent
than one location.
Pee there.
Yeah, precious. Yeah.
Yeah, but they peed in the same spots, so I assume that was their territory, and no one else peed there. They literally peed. in
No,
the
that's
same
just what
spots.
they want. It could have been like another dog like had gone by, and they wanted to like prove something to
There's
like
so
for
many
females and
reasons,
mating
but-
crap or
Yeah,
whatever.
one of my dogs tried to eat the poop all the time. That's
That's
about.
because that's the treat tray.
What is that?
That's what dogs do when they're like walking around. I always call it the side of the sidewalk is like the treat tray for the fucking dogs because like all the tiny little dog shit would be there because the little dog owners are assholes and they would just leave it there because it was small enough and then like my dog would come by and be like, oh, treats. And I'm like, fuck you, it's just a sidewalk.
You've always had pets?
Yeah, I had a cat growing up, and which we really shouldn't have had because I was allergic and like I'm kind of like face red all the time, like really allergic. And they really should have gotten rid of that cat. But that cat lived for like 13 years.
Damn.
So yeah, it was just like a lake of fat and like a giant bladder because he like had issues, and then like just fuzz and just. So but yeah, but it was literally like if you had like, you know, they have the hot balloon or the hot bag things, like the old timey,
Like you're like sick or something, right?
like those rubber like pop.
Yeah, what are those for
I
exactly?
don't know, but like you know what I mean. Like
You went in
that's-
like that SpongeBob SquarePants episode where they put it in Squidward's bed.
It's like a warm, weird rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how his body was. It was just
Oh
like,
my God.
like a cat.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
it was so fluffy. It was hysterical.
Yeah. Are you still allergic to
I'm
cats?
glad you processed that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I was just like, this is kind of silly, but oh man. All right, so talk about cat flub. All right, the ghost has spoken.
The ghost like the cat flub. What can they
This
say?
goes like
It's my cat being like, you're a bitch.
So, when did you stumble into stand-up then? Because when I met you at Rhino Comedy, how you just started doing it, or you?
Yeah, like 10 minutes before. Like seriously, like that was like my first week.
What made you, as like, because you're married, you have kids, you have your whole life, and then you go into comedy and it's depressing, and like, what? Okay, I'm just kidding. But it was delightful though for me to see. I'm just like, yes, another woman, you know?
Yeah,
and like,
I remember you were like,
yeah.
there's so many dick jokes and ball jokes. And I'm like, well, I got a great puss and we're going to talk. So,
I guess it's because I can relate to, vagina talk. I can't relate to dick talk.
Yeah.
Well,
I can relate
depends
to
on the
both
dick
too,
talk.
because I feel like if you've had a couple really good dreams, you can just be like, I think I know what that would feel like.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And like, really,
I got that.
dick empathize? I can't make that thing.
Yeah.
Dick empathize.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
Okay.
What made you lunge into stand-up?
I mean, lunge is
Or,
really like, sure. What do you think I did? Calm down.
slowly tiptoe.
Yeah, what action would you
Slowly
describe?
tiptoe. Yeah, how would you,
I think, it got my, I don't know. I would think like kind of like awkwardly danced with, like a terrible cha-cha. like, is she having a seizure? Is she really bad? No? Does she have joint issues? No. Let's just go back and forth and then just freak out a little bit and then like have a crisis. Oh, in the middle of the pandemic. Oh, and then be like, what is my life? So it's been a weird cha-cha.
Yeah. Are you still cha-chaing now, or is it?
Yeah, no, I went like balls deep in that cha-cha recently because I wanted to get some reels into this competition. And I could not tell you the full name right now. Because,
okay.
Because secret?
No, because I literally can't remember right now.
Oh.
Not because I haven't been thinking about it, but because weed's really great. And it kind of robs you of
Living
the
on the edge,
things.
yeah. So as you're talking about this, awkward little cha-cha during the pandemic. You had to manage quite a lot during the pandemic because you have children.
I do.
And I'm sure they hate. Do they hate actually being home? Wait,
No,
what
they
ages?
don't.
Remind me
So,
what ages. Yeah. Because how was school for someone at that age during this time? I'm just curious, but
okay, so it's too many thoughts. I also was finally diagnosed with ADHD about a week before the whole pandemic hit. So I had started a different medication. I think I went to Rhino to like a New Drug Tuesday, right the week before everything shut down. And I remember just like losing it because of medication changes.
Oh.
So since everything started, so to come into comedy, it's like you were talking. I want to go back. I'm sorry.
Sure.
So anyway, the ADHD medication stopped working 3 hours ago. So that's another reason why I am all over the place.
Go.
Oh, I'm gonna keep going if you guys can keep track.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have another cookie though. That's cool.
Oh please! I'm not bringing them back with me.
Yeah, she's such a mom, such a mom move, you guys. She bakes cookies. She baked cookies. She got them here.
And they're like responsible cookies that you're gonna toss me one.
They're very good. They're very good. They're adorable looking. It's great.
They're chocolate chip. They're the best cookies of all time.
Which they were created by mom.
I mean, double chocolate chip. Those are solid cookies.
Like chocolate cookie and chocolate chip.
Yeah.
Too much chocolate.
Really?
That's just me.
It's also too hard when you put the chocolate.
I only like soft cookies. I hate hard cookies.
Then you wouldn't like those. Well, I mean, if you find ones that you do like, but they probably have
that are
additives.
soft. Yeah. Do Donuts and Chips Ahoy make a soft?
No, they make a root canal only cookie that they have a liability disclaimer in the receipt when you buy it.
Is that true?
No, but it'd be great.
Oh my god.
Sponsored by Nabisco. Get on board, bitches. Anyway.
Yes. Sorry.
So there's a couple things to unpack there.
Yes.
So when you have kids and you're married or whatever, and for me, which I did not like choosing this, but I did because it made the most sense. And I'm still not I'm just fuck, I can't believe I did that. I was like, if we're gonna have kids, I'm not killing myself to work and be the primary cultural caregiver unless you are going to also do that, or you can be hyper focused on your job because you work in numbers and finance. And then I will, because I'm still figuring my shit out, because at the time, this was over a decade ago, I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD. So it was extremely difficult for me to focus on any kind of career path. I just knew I liked doing artistic things. And I would constantly get in trouble for telling jokes at inappropriate times. And then but those laughs, those those like first like 50-ish like validating laughs are
Yeah.
just the most amazing feeling in the world.
Yeah.
So, and I just didn't figure it out because when I was growing up, acceptable jobs were, because I grew up in the Albany area. I feel like I'm only looking at Reena. I'm sorry.
No,
You're
no,
like,
no.
You
I'm
fucking
Keep looking
are.
at me.
So,
Hey, listen, as long as whenever you talk about Albany, you look in my direction, it's fine. Anything else, you can look wherever you
I don't
want.
know if
As long as you
I-
keep stuffing our face with cookies.
Yeah, you probably, I'm good.
That's as polite way of asking for your pass and back.
Yeah.
I don't think I know anybody who says okay with just talk about Albany more. Like people I know from there, nobody says it like that. So
Love
Oh, well,
Albany,
we're
bro.
finding out about you.
okay, thanks. Well, just so
Wait.
you know,
What careers? What?
the career options were. Thank you. Working for the state. Because the state buildings are actually quite beautiful. They're all neoclassical, Greco-Roman revival, whatever, and they're enormous.
Very
Like,
nice.
You look at this, it's literally like you're in the Parthenon. They're fucking huge.
Oh.
So it's a beautiful area to walk around, and then there's like a cute artsy area nearby called Lark Street, and I just lived there from the time I found out it existed, because my parents were very open-minded and pathetic, but very like Christian, like Catholic, but yeah, that was fun. But the implied, I guess they were really super moderate, but like definitely super heavily influenced by the Republican like majority in the mindset in the area back in like the 40s and 50s because they're boomers. So and I'm your elder millennial, you bastards. So I love a lot of socializing her. So you saw her special?
I did.
She's pregnant. She's mom. She's showing. She counts. Amy Schumer.
Nice.
Oh,
You're like,
Nice.
what? Stop looking at me directly.
I know.
I'm never
Completely
fucking
forgot
saying-
about the challenge.
Yeah, I thought you were possessed for a second, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what
What's
is
the
happening
light
right
spin
now?
Yeah.
I was like, we just want you to talk more about fluffy cats right now,
I
actually.
think the term was flubby.
Fluffy, right.
Mhm.
Different. There's a
Fluffy
difference.
cats.
Anyway, so work for the state, work in retail, or work in healthcare. And those are the only like my main like options. And then anything different than that didn't have a solid pay, like a solid salary, and somebody who paid you with it, not having your own business. Those were all discouraged, passive aggressively, or maybe subconsciously to them. But because those are the types of jobs that were there, and those were the options.
Yes.
And anything I brought up, like I went to art school, and I was one of the first people in my family to have gone to college or try to go to college. And I was like telling everybody, I'm like, okay, great, thank you for being proud of me, but like, you don't think this is gonna go anywhere for me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I don't know. That was like the vibe there. I don't know. My point is, I didn't know this comedy was not even an entertaining option. I remember getting off the bus. I think I was like 11 or 12, and I was like. And I was legitimately heartbroken because I realized there was a chance that I might never be famous. And I knew you were going to laugh just like that too. Because you were like, that's funny. I knew you were going to do that. I was like, he's going to do it. I love that, guys. So, and I remember being really upset about it. I think I mentioned it to my mom, and she was like, well, it would never happen anyway. Like, but she didn't say it like that. Like, but that was the gist of the message that I got. So that was like one of the most like egotistical, devastating, like you know, super baby just entering middle school person could have handled. And I was like, I'm gonna live in this fucking nobody town where nothing ever happens. There's no new experiences because my parents are so fucking wholesome and just like sheltering. And I just was so fucking thirsty for something different. So, and that's why I was just like, the first opportunity I got was like, get the fuck out of here.
What was the opportunity that brought you out of there?
Well, I was just trying to, so in 2008 when I graduated from college, the stock market had crashed. Did you guys see the movie or whatever, the short and stuff like that? Yeah.
Horror movie.
I mean, do you have student loans right now?
Almost none. I'm almost all paid off.
Yeah, well, of course all of them. Okay, because it's not fun.
I would do a CUNY though, so that's why. That's the main reason why.
Oh, okay.
CUNYs are mad cheap, yeah.
Oh, alright. Wait, is that Connecticut or the city?
No, it's city, yeah, or
Okay.
or CUNY, I don't know. It starts with a C though, whatever it is.
Yeah, I never really understood all those. I know SUNY.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
University,
different.
But then I was like, city, okay, fine, but then why is there a L?
Some acronyms actually do the opposite of what their job is. Make things more understandable. Fuck up badly. 'Cause you're like, I'm sorry, I don't know what that stands for. And then now you do both first. But anyway, that's not what we're
But
talking
do we actually know?
Yeah.
No, we don't actually know.
No, I would just have to look it up. That's
Yeah,
for our
fuck
PA.
Okay.
Someone at the PA listening right now, shout out to our PA, you better be doing your job, is going to look it up for us.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Out of Albany,
Mm-hmm.
with an opportunity from art school. She's got the cookie in the mouth, people. She's chewing
Cookie
it.
in
It's
the
too
mouth.
good. We had to
Cookie
eat a cookie in the mouth.
Cookie in the mouth. Cookie in
in
the
the
mouth.
mouth.
Well, you don't do that with your friends when they're eating
Well,
cookies?
Backstory now.
About cookies?
So one time we were sitting here with you recording a podcast.
A girl
and then-
named Lauren, yeah, and then she just put a cookie in her mouth.
And then we
started
another
going-
20 seconds.
And then we started
Cookie
singing
in the mouth.
it. Cookie in the mouth.
Cookie in the mouth.
Cookie in the mouth.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it gets harder when it's like,
It's like I was there.
yeah. Us too, we feel that way also, so. And now we're not seeing cookie in the mouth. We're all just thinking cookie in the mouth.
Anyway.
Do you have a favorite cookie? Sorry, no, I think there's another question. that was
There's
proposed.
totally another question.
Yeah, sorry. So after that one.
But I don't remember what it is.
No, it's okay. I just want to know the opportunity that I got about Albany.
So the opportunity to get the fuck out of Albany is actually I met my husband. And not like, I met a man and he saved me. No, fuck that. No, we met and he is from Nigeria. And I was like, and we just were hanging out and like kind of dating. And we actually met on Match, like right when Match was like just on the computer. Like they weren't on smartphones. This is like iPhone 1 territory, guys.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
only your 45-year-old uncle who won't come out will go on Match to find somebody because like he can't. Like that's how unpopular it was at the time.
Got you.
Or rather, just not as developed. They've changed a bunch of stuff. So like dating apps were not a huge thing at all, and I was kind of like judged a little for it. Like I had to go to work all day. I worked at an insurance company and it ate away 3 years of my soul. I swear to God, there's a hole in me. I hated that place. And then like I would go home at the end of the night and be like, oh, is there a message from him? And like that's how we had to wait to communicate with each other. So we really like just chatted about literally everything. I was like business mode. I was like, okay, so like what are your like you're attractive. I really, really, really like you. And like what do you want to do? He's like, well, kind of want to move to the city. He was getting his master's in it's not like he got a CPA, but a master's of sciences or something. I think that whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So then you'll start working at this company. And then I was in hair school trying to figure everything out. And well, I didn't actually have that epiphany yet. But my point was like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't want to do this. And like, let's get married. Not like, okay, this sounds so fucking tripey. Like tripey. Okay, I'm gonna say trope and tripe. Tripe at the same time. But it wasn't like this romanticized, like, I met this great man and blah, blah. And it was very much like, you're awesome. We're both like trying to figure out who we are and what's going on. And I fucking love you. And we just like got married. It was probably the most like spontaneous thing I've ever done in my life. And like again, I got like hardcore judged for that, but I was just like, you know what, fuck this. Like I want to move forward in my life and I need to have a partner with me who thinks more actively and openly and wants to consider living in a different part of the country or doing something completely unorthodox, like building a hedge fund from scratch.
Damn.
And now, like, not to rub it in, but like, my car is a GL 450. Like, it's a really nice Mercedes. Like, we grew this from nothing.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it's been a really hard, like, decade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that, well, let me see, 7 years. So it's like, and it's not like I'm dropping the car name to be an asshole because I feel like that's what this has become. And if you're listening at home right now, which I hope you still are, thank you.
You're fucking jealous of her.
Everybody here looks genuinely like, that's so great that you've come so far and achieved so much, but I feel like I'm not sounding like that.
No,
Okay.
I mean, people do, when they grow up in a place like Albany, people do get stuck, or in any place, it's not just upstate New York, but I'm saying, like, when you do, or if you're in a family where nobody really encourages or supports if you're an artistic person.
You can totally identify with this. I see you, like, identifying so hard.
Well, no, it's a mix. For my family, it's a mix. It's also just, like, I get it, like, it scares parents because security is one of the number one things they think of. And you're just like, all right, well, this is a narrow road. Like, I want you to be, I'm supposed to instill, like, how you survive in the world. Like, I have to teach you these things, blah, 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 blah. And if you do this, you'll get a lot of rejection, or you'll get a lot of difficult paths. Like, your parents want good things for you, and, like, that, obviously, if you do anything creative, sometimes that's how you get the most pain out of it. Because it's hard. Sometimes you make sacrifices. Sometimes things are not, they're just not easy.
Yeah, talk about sacrifices. Like, tomorrow's the first day of school. Granted, this is a fucking blast, and I'm so excited to be here, but I'm probably gonna get 4 hours of sleep. But it's fucking worth it. So
yeah. Well, also you had 2 kids, beautiful kids with your husband.
I did.
Yes. And how old are your kids?
So Roz turned 8 in May, and Vaughn will be 6 in like 3 weeks.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, what was it like during the? How did they do?
Oh
what
yeah,
did
there was
schools have
that
to do?
original question.
Yeah, it was like
you didn't even look at your notes. That was really impressive.
Oh no, this is just to record if you list any celebrity moms.
Never mind. Just this fucking podcast unicorn over here. These guys just like, Reena's really the one who runs this.
No.
That's all
Jordan and Brendan have kick-ass questions and they come in with stuff.
True.
Yeah. I'm just very energetic. They're more laid back.
Oh, okay.
It's just different methods. Yeah.
Okay, just the bulldozer. I'm fine with
It's just
It's
too
like,
much.
it's not about Albany. I don't give a shit about that, so.
I'm sure like somebody will eventually hear this and be like, Lauren, what? This guy loves Albany so much.
I love Albany.
Say more.
I don't know. I love it. I still don't fucking, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm the guy I still don't know, so. Anyways, what was your question, Reena?
I just don't know how this school, like, what is the remote learning when you're 6 or 8? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do
You
you
can give you a day in the life of hell.
Oh, wow.
And you said you had to, for the, what is it, probably just a year and a half then, or 2 years, you had to
This is what happened.
homeschool?
I'll give you the breakdown of the schooling stitch
Okay, good.
month to month throughout the pandemic, but maybe I'll skip some. So everything was shut down like right around St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
And I was just like, this is a virus, this is a 3 to 4 year thing. Which it still is because of what we, like even now we see variant
You
stuff.
immediately thought it would be.
Oh, I knew it. My family is
Mm-hmm.
nurses. Hello, didn't work in the medical field.
Okay.
So many nurses in the family
Okay.
that I've been hearing about everyone's physical ailments. I walked in and started was like, please hold on, my tits are, oh my god. And I was like, oh, I'm messing. Like the first 20 seconds into the room, and then less than 5 minutes later you said,
I wasn't uncomfortable, yeah.
like that's like how my family is. They walk in and they're like, oh, don't hug me, I'm sweaty. Like they'll say something about their bodies, like what's going on, good or bad. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, my back's great today. Like it's just always talking about body stuff. So I grew up with all of that. So viruses and doctors and prescriptions and like medical calls, like constantly. So anyway, that's like that. I just knew I was like, we're fucked for like 2.5 years maybe. But now I think it's gonna be closer to 4 with all the variant shit going on.
Wow.
But think about it this way, guys. But we're at a really good middle ground, and I will tell you why I think we're at the halfway point of the drama of it all, and before it becomes just another like flu vaccine. I bought toilet paper with a clearance sticker on it.
We're good.
We're good, guys. They have toilet paper on
Nobody's
side.
worried anymore about pooping and not
Nobody is gonna cut anybody for fucking Charmin anymore.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm just saying, like, I saw that in the store and I was just like, holy shit. Like, time really just changes everything.
Yeah,
like,
we're moving forward.
that's my when I had my epiphany that we're gonna be fine.
The way that people behaved with toilet paper and the way that toilet paper just disappeared, like if there's like someone watching over us, like doing like a lab experiment, they're probably like, huh, not expect that part of the experiment, but alright, took all the toilet paper.
It's just proving that goddamn chemicals in all the foods ruining our brains. Anyway, let's eat more shit.
Yeah,
Ow.
what's the thing? What is something about the
All the
world?
name?
Yeah, all the
Wait.
Sorry, I know you didn't yet.
No.
No, I didn't get there yet.
The school breakdown.
All right.
I'm really fucking curious. I have no.
We'll get there, Reena.
I'm so glad you're driving. All right.
I'm also high to reassure people. I'm pretty impressed with myself.
Good. The ghost applauds.
The lights.
The ghost.
The lights. So first month they're like, okay, try to go ahead. We're gonna email you some packets or mail some packets out. That didn't happen for like 5 weeks. We're like, we're just gonna play every day, and then bedtimes changed from like normal time to like midnight. I'm like, oh fuck this. And then I found out the love of my life, which is melatonin.
Oh.
Oh my god. And they're like, yeah, you can totally give, in the beginning of the pandemic, they're like, you can definitely give 1 milligram to blah, 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 up to, or 0.5 to 1 milligram. Most adults take 5 or 10. And I'm like, okay, fine. And now it's like, we're at the midway point of the clearance toilet paper. And they're like, well, actually, melatonin is probably going to be bad for your kids. And I'm like, you were all for this when the pandemic hit, and now you're going to take it away from me?
Wow.
God damn it. So I have to look into the research with that. But definitely use melatonin for like a solid 8 months just to keep them on a schedule, because they need a schedule, and it really sucks. Like, if they don't have a schedule, then they get more anxious, and then it's really about, it was all about anxiety and stress management, because you can't blame them, because they literally have never done today before. Once you get out of college or whatever, you start working regularly, your day becomes so painfully monotonous. You forget what it was like as a kid and how painful each day was and stressful, because all of a sudden you could be thrown into a completely new situation, and to everybody else they're like, yeah, I've done this like 4,000 times before, because like, say your credit card doesn't work at the store and your parent is getting a little upset about it. Well, this is a brand new like scenario for you, but you're just like, fuck, this happened again. But this is happening to this person for the first time in their entire life, and they're feeling your anxiety.
Yeah.
So it was really about just pouring that logic sauce on whenever people were like saying stupid shit, like
Logic sauce.
yeah, oh, I love logic
I love
sauce.
that, yeah.
It's like it comes with my little super individual squirrel. Gather all the nuts of knowledge. Yeah, he's got a sweet little sauce.
Look, a logic sauce for
I
them.
feel like I'm making my own caricature. You should just have it in the corner of the podcast.
I love it.
Lauren the logic squirrel.
My logic sauce.
Yeah.
My logic sauce dust. I feel like it would come out like just rainbow dust.
Are your kids very creative as well?
You're like, talk about your fucking kids.
We want kids. We want kids.
My main question is, the reason why I ask that is, like, if your kids are, I don't know, if they're reaching for whatever dream they have, let's say, you know, if they're doing something also artistic, whatever, like whatever that thing is, are you like real with them? Like 8 years old? No, you'll never be that. No.
Logic sauce.
That
it's not logical, Timmy.
That is a terrible named fear-based decision-making sauce. That's what I call that. So let me go back and wrap up. So basically every month was really just managing your anxiety level until April this past year, when they went back to school all full time, and I finally could get like a regular routine again, where I had chunks of time to just not have to talk to anybody, and just to, like, you guys have your commute to work, and you guys get home. If you're like, I gotta hang out by myself, you're like, all right. And no one will come bother you unless it's an emergency, and like a real emergency where like your adulting powers are needed. Okay, and that's it's what I'm describing is like, okay, so you guys are that's your day. The type of like always needing somebody on every single level, physical, emotional, like, I don't want to say like, mostly just physical and emotional. I feel like I should have a third one, but I don't. Anyway. And like that, it's draining. It's like ever so slowly, like water dripping down onto a rock. It's going to create a groove. And that's like the one thing that always scared me about becoming a parent, because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to manage that. Like, I saw my parents are the oldest of 5 and 7.
So they have a lot of younger siblings who also had a lot of younger siblings. And I'm in the older group chunk at the top. And I saw my aunts and uncles just constantly stressed out and freaked out. My parents didn't do that. So, and then they would judge them for freaking out and stuff like that in front of them. And like just losing their shit and screaming and being perhaps inappropriately, but overly expressive in their eyes. So it was like, okay, so if I get married and have kids, I have to be on emotional lockdown and not have a babysitter because you don't trust babysitters and like just really sheltering. And I know this sounds really negative right now, but it's just factual. And I do love my parents very much. And they did I feel like once you hit your 30s, I think you're all like 28.
29.
Yeah.
He's the same age.
All right. Anyway, but like,
Why are you just looking at me?
he's like, that's not my birthday.
You're not supposed to reveal our age.
He's like,
Sorry.
I'm 35, damn it. No, God.
He's like, well, my real passport says this. You just realize you just come to a point where you just like, oh, I see you as just a person, and I accept all of the shit. Like you've had enough time to be distanced enough from it, and you accept like, okay, you were literally just a person in what my eyes as little me was like, this is a shitty situation, and you just made the best choice you could because you were fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
Or you just couldn't handle it anymore, and it was for your own mental capabilities. And people have said that, but like I didn't really like feel that and really get that until the pandemic hit. So I've had a lot of epiphanies, and also just like, again, like finally being diagnosed with ADHD and be given like the proper medication for it and not being on like antidepressant for too long. I walked in, you were like, you look great. I'm like, yeah, I dropped like a bunch of weight, like 40 pounds. It's just was getting off of a medication.
Oh.
Also, like I run, so
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you like
I
running, or
do.
is it like it's just like that's like the only like exercise that you can really like?
Well, I did it out of necessity. I used to do spin classes and stuff. But then I was like, I gotta fucking move and get the fuck out of this house. Bye. And I have like a really steep hilly neighborhood and stuff, so I just would do sprints. I just do sprints. I actually have this really sweet metal plate in my ankle.
Whoa, from what?
I actually fell while I was pregnant with my son.
Oh my
Oh.
Yeah. And I had this operated on September 11th.
Oh.
6 years ago. So, yeah.
Never forget. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. But
So do you beep when you go through metal
I
detector?
fucking wish. Like,
Oh,
another reason why I do comedy, like, I had this, like, retrospective moment where I was like, maybe I should try stand-up. And I was just thinking back, I'm like, okay, why do I think I really did that? I'm like, all these times in life when I've made really fucking sweet jokes and nobody laughed. And then I used them again, and they worked. And I was just like, oh my God, I've been writing jokes and telling jokes since I was like 11, but nobody saw it and nobody encouraged me. And yes, my daughter actually writes her own books and they're like full stories.
No
I'm so proud of her. My daughter
way.
is so creative.
Oh my
She's great.
God.
And she's like, tomorrow for the first day of school, her teacher actually sent them all postcards being like, oh, okay, bring a snack, because like their lunch period's super early, so they need it for later. She's just every detail in this little letter. She's like, okay, and then because of this and this. I'm like, oh, but it was like in a really adorable way, not like an overbearing, like this is a real breakdown of how the days are going to be for them.
Yeah.
Excuse me. She's been working in the school year for like 27 years, so I'm like, all right, yeah, she just knows exactly what we're going to get. She's going to get emails about it anyway.
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, and then please bring 2 of your favorite books. And Roz was like, well, I'm going to bring the book that I wrote about Super Why and Vaughn waking me up at 3 a.m. That's my son's name. It's Rosalind and Vaughn, or Raz.
Raz and Vaughn.
Vaughn woke up at 3 a.m.
In the book. So she made up this story because there's a TV show called Super Why. Don't even look it up. It's not worth it. It's a kid's show. It's about women. Just don't waste your time.
Okay.
I can't. Like, some of the tropes in there, like, ugh.
Pause right now and binge watch the entire series, and then come back and listen to the rest of the episode.
Don't, and you will just you
Yeah.
get in one episode and you're like, this is great, but I'm 27. Bye.
Is it hard to watch the younger kid program?
Not if it's Bluey. I swear to fucking
Bluey's
God.
Bluey's so
You
good.
don't even have a child.
Yeah.
Like,
He has a niece.
I have 2 nieces.
He has 2 nieces. He's got young nieces.
Also, I have
yeah,
taste in art and cinema. That's why I love Bluey. But yeah, not 2 nieces. Actually, I actually found out about Bluey from like a friend who's like 24 years old, and he's like, this show's amazing.
Well, that guy's awesome too.
He is, yeah, no, he's really awesome. And then I went to my niece. I was like, do you know Bluey? She's like, I know Bluey, and I'm like, all right, then you already know. So I'm not gonna, so but she's already smarter than me too. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's like 4?
she's 3.
Okay.
No, she's a genius, or I'm the
She's
opposite of a
not
genius.
independent. Yeah, she is the older one, so it's definitely interesting. Well, yeah. So how is the dynamic with your? Sorry, not to keep asking about your kids.
Kids.
I knew coming into this, it's like, okay, this could be really like just Lauren heavy, or it could be really like mom heavy. And I'm just like, I don't think they're gonna go that far, but like, all right, it's back. So
No, we can switch. We don't have to do the love heavy.
It's fine. We can go and do it.
Let's talk about dicks. Dicks and vagina.
Most of the time, they're what gets you into it anyway. So.
Yeah, just like your kids' dynamic.
So
between
Roz
them.
is super creative and very emotionally mature.
As girls are. I guess not all girls.
I
that's
mean,
not
not
true.
all,
That's not
though.
true. Yeah.
But like, cause I know some other little girls, and they're not there yet
Yeah,
at certain
got
things,
you.
and Roz is definitely there. And then so she's getting to the point where. Do you remember when you have a twin, but you have a younger sibling as well?
Yes, 10 years younger. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know when you were probably like just getting into like middle school, and you were just like, I just kind of want to just be by myself and go do my own thing, and not be like, I want to play with a friend right now. You know, that switch in between. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Having a twin is different. I can't like. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I was
mine is
very
great.
shy. So, and in middle school, high school, anything like I was always very, very attached to it. I just didn't want to be
Really?
bothered by it.
Oh.
I was
You
timid.
guys-
I was quite timid in school.
Well, you have a sibling, I assume.
I have 2 siblings, yeah.
No.
I have 1.
Okay, but like, do you remember like when you just were like, I just want to go play by myself? I feel like you were really independent as a kid.
I was very
Yeah,
independent.
Jordan.
Yeah,
I'm a
I-
very independent person.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, still, yeah.
I didn't
So-
really have a lot of friends. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a poor question.
Because there were 3 of us, oftentimes there was like this
Oh
like
my
swinging dynamic where it was like either like me and my older sister were kind of like playing together, or me and my younger sister was playing together, or the 2 sisters were playing together. So at some point,
That
maybe
sounds like a really nice balance,
we
actually.
did. It also helped when there was like a fight between us, because it was always 2-on-1 usually,
Oh.
and so you knew who was right because the 2 people were right, no matter what the scenario was.
That's
So-
like
Majority
my.
wins.
It's like my white picket fence American dream sibling situation.
Yeah, well, also just to be clear, at one point my older sister used to be able to like beat both me and my younger sister at the same time. So sometimes the one person was stronger than the majority.
That happens, yeah.
Yeah, we literally running my older sister, and she would just like put like grab our
One
face and
hand
push us
up,
down, and it was like a video game. Like we just kept going back for more, and like it's so baffling that we didn't. I guess we must have enjoyed it on some level.
Yeah, that
you know?
sounds like pure joy, honestly. Like, I
It
wish
was.
my siblings were like that, but they're not. So.
Yeah. Also, sorry. Do you want a Wendy's spicy chicken Pringle?
Oh my god!
Okay,
What?
listen, Pringles. Somebody was like,
Isn't the coconut?
I don't know who
Never
thought
heard
was
of
like,
that.
bring it, but nobody said that. But damn, that is oddly specific.
Yeah.
How do you know it tastes like Wendy's, not like McDonald's or something?
Well, I don't know, but my girlfriend
Different
tried.
flavor of cancer.
Yes,
Like,
Seriously.
Haley had one the other day, and she was like, "I can't eat anymore because it tastes too much like a spicy chicken sandwich."
hand that bitch over.
So,
It's
but
so weird.
Now
Yeah.
it will smell.
Yeah, we
I want
gotta
to see if it's vegan.
put that under a microscope. No
Oh,
way!
if it
If
is.
it's got cheese on there, fake whatever spread is on
no,
there.
I don't know if there's any
There's no
cheese
milk
on it.
or.
I don't know. To be fair, the ingredients
No, it's
are
just-
really dark and hard to read.
Oh! Christ, fuck that.
Maybe with milk and eggs. I guess not. 'cause
Probably.
it's a potato.
Alright, you want
Can
to
you have
try
Pringles?
this?
Pass.
Right.
Yeah, Jordan.
For the culture.
Yeah, that's what all my snacks are bought for. It's just to try them everything once.
Milk.
All right, so let's take it
So-
to Lauren. Oh, sorry. Were you
Oh, yeah,
done?
sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to answer the second half. And then Vaughn
yeah.
is just, he's like
Oh yes, fine.
socially around 3-ish. He's going to be 6 because he's on the spectrum, with the autism spectrum, which is a spectrum. So he's really just kind of like, in my mind, he's like progressing. He kind of stalled out progression-wise around 2. And then like every year is like a 4-month period in the progression. So I don't know, I guess there's some math in here that I should know, where like he's moving at like a reverse quarter speed. So like you increase by like do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
No, continue.
so say like the year 3 to 4. that maturity level, it takes him like 4 times longer to reach that.
Okay.
So that's why he's only like socially like a 3 now, but it's been like 2 years. So it's like.
So the pandemic would aid someone in that or harm them because why?
Harm.
The Wendy's.
But no, this chip is
You're
amazing.
reacting to the Pringles. Okay, I was like,
they're here whenever you want.
no, just
them.
also
So you-
because is it like. Do autistic kids though sometimes not like the social anxiety or not like being by themselves or keeping to themselves? So the pandemic in a sense with them like not you don't have to interact with all these other kids. Is it easier for them?
It depends on the kid because
Right. Okay.
it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
So for some, maybe older kids or kids that are really just completely content without socializing at all and like don't laugh usually. They would have been probably fine, but my son is very he's very curious and he finds things funny and we can laugh about things and like we can tickle each other, but like we're not at the point of telling jokes yet. Because like, the language isn't there, but he's getting a lot of funny things. Like when funny things happen, he's just like laughing along with us. So, but he's like, my therapist actually, who I love, oh my gosh, she's the best. Her son is also on the spectrum, but he's about 5 physical years, not cognitive years ahead of my son. So it's kind of like looking into the mirror because I describe, and she's seen him on telehealth or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's seen him and like talked to him through there, and she's like, yeah, my son was very similar. So like now she's like watching The Walking Dead with him, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Whoa.
So like yeah, he's 12. So I was like, all right, cool. And not that that's how it's gonna be, but like that's the progression. And I honestly at this point didn't even think I could have gotten him potty trained by the age of 5.
Wow.
And so I constantly have to look back and be like, okay, where we were at 2 years old and where we are now is actually only been 4 years. But he's leaps and bounds ahead. So I kind of like have this gauge now, like this map of his progression and how he progresses. And I see the types of like the patterns that like behavioral patterns that happen right before he has like a little mini breakthrough.
Yeah.
And like, can buckle the seatbelt by himself and like understand when I say, hey, go do this. And I know he's ignoring me. So I say it in a different way and he still goes and does it. So yeah, he understands what's going on. He's just being a little prick about it because he doesn't want to do it. And his like personality is coming out. So for us, the pandemic was incredibly emotionally taxing for him because he likes to socialize and it's also, it's just like with people, like you can be an extroverted introvert, you can just be an introvert,
Right.
those types of things. So he still likes to go out and he's like, I want to go, he'll come to me like, Mommy, I want to go to Target. And like, but he says it in a little more like robotic way because he's just like, I have to say these words because that's how I have to communicate with you. So he kind of has this like little grumpy like, I want to go to do this now. But like, cause he doesn't want to talk either. He's just like, but I need things from you and I can't just climb to the fridge and eat chicken because it needs to be cooked and I need things from you. So I can tell you I want chicken.
Interesting.
Like,
so do you think he will be less communicative when he gets older and learns to be
that's exactly where I was going. Like as an adult and he can really understand.
independent or like do things himself?
Exactly. Like he can really understand when he's more independent. Yeah, like when he's going to expend himself to actually verbalize something. Of course, that's exactly what's going to happen. So he's going to be the super shy, quiet one, but like still playful and fun, but like totally a loner, I think. And Roz she's very outgoing and she wants to have friends. And I was exactly the same way. I was like a Labrador puppy. I was like, let's be friends. And I just get kicked by another little puppy. And I'd be like, okay, I just want to be friends. And then go to the next one, kicked again, be like, it's fun, I just want to be friends. And now here I am, like, still here being like, hey guys, want to be friends?
Yes.
Well, we are friends.
The answer is
I
yes.
thought that, yeah.
We will all be friends now.
Affected immediately.
So these chips are so spot on.
Yeah,
Like,
they're pretty good.
Did you also like them, Jordan?
no, they're just accurate.
They were good, yeah.
They're very accurate.
Yeah,
They
because
remind me of my days of eating chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, because there's a lot of times where like these like chip companies, whether it's Pringles or Lay's, they have these kind of, like very gimmicky flavored, and it's like
It's so spot on.
yeah, but this
What is
really
it in the chemical lab? You wonder how
They
did
should get the chicken sandwich and just smash it against chips until it smells like it.
It's like, let's just like rub it on a chicken chain. There you go.
It's probably just the spices from whatever the chicken sandwich outside is.
And they add some of the fried crumbly bits or something. then
Yeah.
I mean, that's
well,
what I
it is
would
a
do.
potato.
Yeah.
It's pretty it's just
Potato.
form.
Is it a potato? Yeah.
Wait, sorry, what was the question?
Is it a
chip?
potato? Pringles
Yeah,
or
potato.
potato?
Yeah,
We're checking.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I assume most chips are potato until, except for like tortillas, I don't assume, and like, oh,
That's
those are
corn,
right?
Tortillas
Yeah.
corn.
Yes. Or flour.
Oh,
Yeah, corn.
corn because my friend's gluten free. Not like actual gluten free, like medical condition.
Okay.
I feel like that was a very like.
No, listen, so
Well, they're both
That's
kind
fair.
of assholes.
That's fair.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dad.
No, I work in a restaurant, so that I have people who will come in and they'll say the exact same thing. They're like, hey, I'm gluten free. They're like, I'm not like that kind of gluten. I'm gonna die if I eat gluten.
No, like groceries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's true, because like I get like it's good to be health conscious, but there definitely are people who turn like that particular diet into like a trendy,
For
like,
sure.
fashionable,
That's why I'm like.
fetishy thing. It's
I know,
I
true,
like-
yeah.
That's why I said I'm deadbeat vegan. That's what I actually ended up doing. So I don't have a gallbladder. So but I'm like actually like really affected by it. So I have to be careful. Like I cannot eat this whole bag because there's too much fat in it and it will hurt me.
Oh.
And because I don't get all the stuff that I need.
Mm.
Anyway,
Got you.
so I have to be like I have to eat like tiny little meals anyway. So like and I can't have dairy. But like yeah, I mean I could have gluten. It's fine. Like. So I just have to be a little conscious of that. So I started making a bunch of vegan dishes that were like just low fat vegan. Like I would use cashews and all the nuts and like technically a lot of
That's
fat,
bad.
but it's
Yeah.
I have this great vegan cashew Alfredo.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I will text it to you.
Yeah, please.
I even like have little footnotes. I'm like how to make it better. That's all I ate. Actually, I had braces too, or pandemic.
Oh.
nice.
Yeah, my
It's gonna be a beautiful
Good
thing.
time to get braces,
Braces
right?
off.
Yeah, I got them off right in April after I got my vaccine, and I was like, yeah, I look great, but I'm married.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like super admiring though with like everything you just had to deal with during the pandemic because I just can't imagine being a parent. In general, ever, period. No.
Oh, listen, like-
I mean, just like in this time, and I can't like.
Thank you, because like
Oh
honestly,
my
I can
gosh.
imagine being not in my shoes and being like, shit, that would like I can feel like. I can imagine feeling like, wow, that's intense, because I've met other parents too that like their kids. I'm sorry guys, I keep really just I'm like Reena, like you're
Don't worry about it.
Lauren,
Just-
Albany. That's all I'm here
It's an
for.
amazing,
Stuffed in our
magnificent.
face with cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in heaven right now. This is amazing. Yeah.
Give me more attention.
So yeah, it's just like some of their kids are completely nonverbal to the point where they won't even take care of themselves physically. Like they
Oh,
either don't know
jeez.
how or they ignore you and will not learn how.
Mm.
So I find myself incredibly fortunate that my son is so empathetic and really bonds with people that are like close, like his people. He's just gonna be a little quirky,
Yeah.
but he's gonna be able to like help and like sustain himself and like have a job and be able to communicate and maybe just with a few people and
Yeah.
connect with them deeply. But you only need a few really good people.
Yeah.
Empathy is the most important quality to have
Oh
in
my
a person,
gosh.
100%. Because like,
Yes.
it's like other things. It's like you kind of figure your way around it. Maybe you won't be the best at certain things, but it's, empathy is like I don't know that you can teach empathy necessarily. I think you
They
probably
try
can. It's hard.
in the
It's-
school
it's
system
hard.
now.
Oh really?
Oh my God, they try. They realize that that's what they need to do.
Yeah, it's important.
So yeah, no, they really like they push empathy home, which is good because because my son has technically has special needs, I've met other parents, like one parent, their son has I forget the name of it, but he doesn't lack empathy, but he has some kind of like it's like she described it as like a block, like. He just can't. Empathy's there, but it's really down deep. He has to dig for it. So they're really pushing how to like go through these situations, if not to feel the empathy, but to understand that this is when you should do this because someone with a lot of empathy would, and like pushing that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I feel like that, like mental health has come so far, and this has become a podcast now about mental health.
Yeah.
It's
They all end up becoming that eventually.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really grateful that my son can like joke and laugh. And like today he was like reenacting Peppa Pig. Which is cute, but like when he does it for the 15th time, you're like, and they've been home for the past 2 weeks because it's in between like camps and summer things and school. So I'm just like,
Get
me away.
Do any of your kids speak with like a kind of a British accent because of watching Peppa Pig? Because my niece kind of does.
Thank you. I'm happy that somebody got a kid that had that out there because I even had a babysitter for a while whose family was British, but she grew up mostly here for like the past 10 years. But she can lean into it on the phone with her parents. So I was like, yes, Emily, just speak more British and watch Peppa Pig. And I'm like, just ingrain it. And never
Does your husband still have an accent?
Okay. Yeah, and he's losing it little by little. I feel like in another like 20 years he'll
have
it.
Over time.
I mean, he could probably do a solid American because even right now his American accent, it's still, when he tries, like he doesn't practice enough.
Yeah.
Because I can... Yeah, like
my dad lost his accent. Yeah, he's from Iran, so there's no. How did your husband ever like talk about when like he learned English?
You realize that Nigeria is Anglophone, right?
No, I'm stupid.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for I don't know why, but I was thinking this is totally
Reena,
wrong.
I didn't know either.
No. I know you said Nigeria, but I was thinking Nicaragua. I don't know why. That's obviously not even
the other cunt.
It's not even. Yeah.
They both start with N.
I just couldn't. I blinked.
So like, well, that's Latin.
I blinked. But forget about your kids.
Oh my god.
What do you do?
Ali Wong. I saw her last week too.
Oh, Ali Wong. That's a good one.
Cool.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. I would say it's based upon the different ideas that she had thrown into it. It was definitely like the most. It was super sincere, and she made it funny. But the mood was more like. It was a bit darker than she usually goes.
A lot of comics doing that. There's a lot. There's like because what was it? Because Nanette was kind of like that too, right? And like there's a lot of these comedy shows where it's like, they kind of like don't like they're not trying to make you laugh the entire time necessarily, right?
I mean, no. Ali Wong's kind of like shtick too is like she's kind of like a grumpy, like the future of herself, like a grumpy little Asian woman, and she really leans into all of that. But like she's still cute and like 30-something and petite and adorable. So it works, that dynamic. She really found her voice. And then she has like it's just like she's kind of like complaining to you, kind of like a girlfriend, and that's just her thing. But the topic she chose made it a little bit more like, ooh, this got a little darker. But not like in a really like, I know what you're talking about. Like people get like really deep down into it. Nah, she's definitely just still on like the surface.
Yeah, where does she rank for like as far as like comics that you like to watch?
All the time.
You have to range, like who else is up in like the upper ranks?
We're all just a number.
We're all number, yeah. Give me 1, 2, and 10 on your list.
1, 2, and 10. Hannah Gatsby is probably my number one.
Is she
all-time favorite?
Is she a mom?
No, she's a lesbian and has a bunch of dogs.
She could be a
You
mom.
could still be a mom.
Well, she is a single person.
Oh, I didn't know.
Who does
I didn't
not
know.
have people.
I didn't know.
Anyway,
Got you.
Fair. She can be a lesbian, but okay.
You're allowed to be a lesbian.
No, I'm just thinking.
You're allowed to be straight.
Yes, you're allowed to do these things. Now I sound like a fucking.
You're allowed to have a dog.
No, but my point is like you have like single women in their 30s-ish, and the stereotype is cats. Mine that I've got like a bunch of like cottage les buddies are like, yeah, if a woman's over 30 and she has more than one dog, she's gay. I'm like, really, guys? Is that a thing? She's like, it's stereotype among us. I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
So that's just cover my ass right there.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. You got like a laser beam to the face, and you're gonna be like snipered at any
lasers
find the
with
ghost.
the galaxy lights in the ceiling. They shoot out lasers.
But it was perfectly like a dead shot in the movie. Like
is like watching comedy your escape?
Yeah, it is.
Because even though you like practice it and do it, and
Yeah, I mean, you
like
guys watch
switches.
comedy too, right?
No,
For stand-up?
stand-up, no. I do not watch it often.
I hate
Really?
it.
At all.
No, I used to watch a lot more.
I find comedy through different avenues, I guess you would say. Like when Bo Burnham came out with his Inside
that was
musical
great.
comedy, that reels me in. That's been reeling me in a lot more lately.
Yeah, the
I watched
theatrical
that.
part.
And like
Yeah.
shows and fiction, so exactly, yeah. It's not, but for stand,
Okay.
I mean, I guess. Excuse me, John Mulaney's probably not special. What was the last thing I watched of his when I didn't? You guys were telling me about the movie he had with those children.
Oh, Sack Lunch Bunch. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yo, on Netflix,
So
John
great.
Mulaney did a special. It's like kind of like Sesame Streety, kind of like
His
like kids show.
physical appearance is so homey from the 1930s.
Yeah, it's like a little like Mr. Rogers.
you have to watch that.
It's very good, but it's not
That's the
for
stuff that
kids,
gets
but it's
me.
like done like a kids show, but it's
Yeah.
like John Mulaney style jokes though.
It's
so.
entertaining.
But not as like gross as Big Mouth.
No, it's not gross at
Okay.
all, really.
No.
Yeah. No, yeah, right. Big Mouth is like
Big Mouth
special.
is filthy.
Yeah, it
The
is.
hormone monster is the best. Oh my god. Maury.
So is that your like? What do you do to detach from?
Yeah, I love
family?
stand-up.
To
I
be
love
I'm
to-
doing my own thing. To
Oh,
that.
for sure, stand up. And then my best friend is a writer, and she got me into a couple different authors and stuff over the pandemic. But it's definitely basically Game of Thrones diet. It's definitely it's all sci-fi and mostly fantasy and stuff like that. That's just my total I need to not think about anything that could actually happen in this realm that we know of so far. Because that's my total escape because my brain is awesome. I can read a sweet I pretty much guarantee you I will dream about everything I read before bed.
Wow.
So if I read a really dark chapter and I'm just passing out, I will literally the dream will just continue
Oh,
within
that's
that,
awesome.
and it's really awesome when my brain
Oh,
does
wow.
that, and it's
Holy smokes.
like
oh my god,
almost
that's,
I would
that's
say
it.
more than half the time my brain will do that when I'm going to bed after I read, and that's how
That's
graphic my mind is.
Yeah.
Do you dream basically every night?
Um,
Remember your
them?
dreams?
pretty much. That's only been because I got off that horrible antidepressant.
Wow, yeah.
Fucking killing your life.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks to them.
we can just legalize weed. Oh, there you go. Oh, hey, look, we did. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
a decade we've
legalize
been
it.
bitching
We
about
did.
this.
Yeah. Do you read a book a day like Jordan?
I mean,
I don't do that, but I try.
I don't know. You
I've been
both
trying
are
to
real
lately.
fast.
well, I mean, I
Yeah.
can probably, a novel or a book on, what are you reading?
I'm reading a lot of nonfiction stuff in general.
See, this
Yeah.
is smart guy over here. I can't do this. So what are your topics then?
Right now, I am reading something about nuclear fusion and creating stars. But that was just
a light reading.
But that was because I was I'm just gonna read this very quickly and know that I'm not gonna understand most of it. But if I understand any of it, then I'll feel.
Oh,
very
you're not going through each page and figuring everything out and taking notes.
Exactly.
Just-
Yeah, I'm just
yeah,
reading it to just
Skimming. Oh.
I'm trying to understand a breadth of knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're reading
a bunch
things on
of
nuclear
different
fusion.
things.
I'm reading a book. It's how not to be awkward.
We're going in the opposite directions.
Literally,
Gotta get this book.
yeah, or I'll just read some memoirs. We have two very different.
Just the two you have
reading
memorized.
lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. And then I'm just over here reading interdimensional time traveling and
Ooh.
the dialogue is
That's
really
cool.
great though. It's and then there's obviously the Fae, but it's the deep, dark, gritty Fae.
Do you watch Outlander?
I have seen the first 2 seasons and I have to say, what is that more than you guys have seen?
No,
Yeah.
well, just to drop.
Oh no, I know you guys
drop
had
a
an
plug.
episode on that, didn't you?
We have a podcast we started.
Ashley,
Oh.
Ashley Alexandra, and I do a Gemstones and Whiskey and Outlander.
Oh yeah, I
podcast is
saw
what it's
that on
called. Yeah.
Instagram. Okay,
So we've seen every season except season 6, which they're filming now, and season 7 they're already renewed for and having started
Really?
filming. Season 6 they're probably almost done.
did she
Yeah.
write the last book yet?
Yes.
She did.
So
Okay,
it's
thank
as
God.
many
Well,
long.
she beat George
I'm
R.R.
pretty
Martin.
sure.
I mean-
I'm pretty sure. Ooh, I might need to check on that. But it's
Well,
the
I'm
same
waiting
number of
because-
seasons for each
book
thing.
Right.
But I don't. Yeah, I'm that person that I don't go to the books for those things. I go straight to the.
Oh
series.
no! See, I read all the
Boop-a-doop-a-doop,
books, and then
I like it.
Oh, wow.
I was also
Okay, we should have you on that podcast as
Yeah.
a guest.
but I'm not gonna be a fan here, because I got really frustrated.
No, I'm liking this direction
Oh,
because
okay.
a bunch of people are fans and certain respects and the reasons why they like it, but whatever. But I do like hearing a contradictory.
I'm totally
point
gonna
of
be
view.
your ornery aunt from Long Island about this because I tried. It's you're dating a guy who's been a friend for a while and you really want it to work out, but there are just some things that you're just this is a major either like plot issue or trope issue or just like why would you bother with
Character flaw.
Not even character flaw, it's just the writing. It's the way that they
I
went
can't
through.
watch
It's
it.
like it's just cringeworthy. And like one of the main things that just pissed me off, I realized this book was written in the 90s, but the fact that they had I figure everybody, I assume many more people have talked about this first. So let me know. You're so into this.
I'm not actually.
On this podcast, no.
The show at all yet.
I can bring it back.
No,
because I can get you interested in a minute. Because then when Outlander was shot in Albany,
Oh,
yeah.
wait, no way. Really? No?
No.
I thought it was shot in Scotland.
Albany, Scotland.
All of it was.
Yeah. No. I just listen to the podcast though.
That's
'Cause even though I have no idea anything about the show, it's like the band are that good that I'm like, all right. I'm like.
I mean, it was beautifully shot.
Wait,
and I
you
will
still listen
say-
to our podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, when you sound. Oh, that's sweet.
Aw.
I didn't know you listened to it.
Yes. I'm like, I don't know what the hell these characters are.
Well, I mean, it's also
listening to.
I like the way that they produced the series. It was great. It's the writing that was the problem. And my main crux, why I was like, I don't want to watch season 2, was because they made their main like antagonist.
Spoiler alerts if you're dropping this.
Oh yeah, totally. Spoiler alerts. Do
Skip
not.
a minute. Hit the 30 seconds a couple times. Yeah.
Go on.
A couple more times.
Yeah.
So the main antagonist had to be like, okay, he was gay, but then they also really were like, well, the most evil parts of him are because he's gay. And I'm like, okay, fine. This might have been, obviously, it makes sense that it probably happened in history, but like, you're gonna focus on this, not like the character. And I get the fact that like he was repressed and told he was wrong, and then it all manipulated, and then he became abusing people and like that. But like, I feel like you could have had an evil character with a really rich tapestry of history without making that like the main fucking focal point. Like, I just feel like that's not what we need culturally right now. And if you're, trying to bring in more or less liberal oriented initially people, like say people that would agree that being gay is evil and bad. I'm talking to you, Square States. And like, if that's what you're trying to drag in, that's not the way to do it. So I just feel like it was in poor taste to just commit to that level of detail within the first season.
Yeah, I think the first season was a very different trajectory than what you expected. They went hard. They went deep. Like
it was the book. It was literally verbatim the book, and I feel like they didn't. I feel like they didn't translate to cinema well. They just copied and pasted. And it could have, I'm telling you, if you didn't read the books, like you said, and you just watched the show could have been way, way better if they had used the books as an outline. There was great material to take from, but they didn't. Outliner, the edited edition. They definitely should have taken more artistic license and just used like a wealth of knowledge, and then to edit things for what the current cultural climate needs to go ahead and bring people to think more openly about differences. And I feel like there's a huge missed opportunity, but I do say the production and direction team, for being so committed to it, really nailed it.
Oh, is fabulous. That piece is fabulous. Yeah. It's also very exciting when you have period pieces like that, and it's Scotland, 200 years ago, or 200 before the 1940s. So the present day is even 1940s, and you're just like, oh wow, all right, we're getting
2 period pieces in one.
Exactly, but you're getting like, how many other shows are you seeing with these kinds of, I don't know,
Doctor
just like
Who.
styles, and then
You're a Doctor Who fan?
I don't know.
I never
I like
got into
Torchwood.
Doctor Who.
I was like, man, but I really like Torchwood. My roommate in college was obsessed with it.
What's your current show? Like, what's the show that is either most bingeable or you just gotta watch?
Yeah,
Well,
what are you into now? Yeah.
Right now, I've been really lamenting some Jennifer Coolidge in my life, and I do love Kat Dennings in Two Broke Girls. And watching it now again for the first time, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of cringy jokes in here.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, Whitney Cummings, you're not gonna hold back. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, wow, that joke really didn't preserve well. It didn't really, that's some really old sushi in the fridge. in terms of like if the joke would land.
That's a great term.
I don't even know exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, it looks like a great idea still, but I know it's only been like not that long, it's like 24 hours, but that's your cutoff, and it's not been that long since we told these jokes, but they're not a good idea anymore. And you throw them into the trash reluctantly, and you're judging yourself for reluctantly.
Yeah, these were good ones, but no longer.
And even then, like that was like pushing edgy. So
wait, Jennifer Coolidge is in Two Broke Girls.
oh my god, she's the
Oh, I
best
didn't know.
fucking
I
character.
really
The
watched that
whole
much.
thing, other than the banter that comes out of Kat Dennings' mouth and the cashier Earl. But Jennifer Coolidge just makes that fucking show. She's so like this giant.
Torino chip down.
Squirrel mode activated.
Squirrels are very efficient, though. They really like every movement is very important.
They can store a lot in their cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
Chipmunks, a lot in their cheeks, and it doesn't even look that like it could contain that much.
Stretchy.
Very impressive. You're right.
If you have faith in the stretchy cheeks of a squirrel, you can have faith in the fact that your crotch will be fine after having a baby.
Wow.
Just saying. I know, I just randomly
That's
related to
crazy.
moms.
Though. That
Gwyneth
is
Paltrow.
crazy.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Goop.
Goop.
Reena.
Yeah, it's a lie. I know you're saying that sarcastically. It is wild that like our bodies can just expand.
It's just amazing what
There's a
you can do.
human that comes out.
Yeah.
Wait, were you numb or like wait? I mean, obviously
Chelsea Clinton, technically a celebrity.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was
I
there.
count that. I
It's
count
like
that.
Chelsea
Very
Clinton
interesting.
of all the queens. Just gonna say.
I feel like she's undersung, okay?
What is it in the rush hour? He's like, oh, who do you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Reena, I feel like twice a year you quote Rush Hour, and I'm glad that we're here for this one.
It's such a good. That's probably not a lot. Yeah, that's probably so true. Fuck, what were you saying? I didn't even say it. Oh, great. Oh, when we were
Good luck, I have no idea.
Babies, our bodies.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
Were you're on drugs, right? You're
I
on-
tried, man. I tried. I have more body stuff. I have a double S curve in my back, so the way they have to go in between the plates. I'm sure you read a book about this last week. Jordan is like just giggling. Like,
Wait, is that scoliosis or that?
yeah. But I also have like my rib cage twists a little too.
Whoa.
Oh.
So it's like a half inch.
You were just
It's-
born like this?
No, I just didn't have a lot of muscle mass, and my parents were like, you have a feeling, let's feed you. So
Oh,
yeah.
shoot. Okay, all right.
And and then nummy ADHD medication to balance that out. So big kid. I was just doing the best gestures ever. Anyway,
Yeah, you can see, but she went. Now you can't see that either,
Yes,
actually.
like we can all gather, arms out, puff motion. So shit, where'd I go?
Here we go. Babies.
Yeah. Oh,
Babies.
yes.
Yeah.
how
So
you
my
couldn't-
spine.
Yes,
my
your
spine.
spine.
So they go in to do a tap to put the thing in, so that way it gets all the nerves and stuff to like have no feeling, literally no feeling. You're like, I never had a lower body. I don't know what you're talking about. Like that's what it
Wow.
feels like eventually.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it felt when I had my leg operated on while I was like 40 weeks pregnant. That was not fun.
Whoa.
It was less than fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, talk about really detaching your mind from your body and like focusing on another person. And as you can tell, I was really chatty. I was like, hey, anesthesiologist assistant, sit down, we're talking. Like in the middle of surgery, I'm like, play music. You were like, you asked me if I beep and stuff for my ankle. Yeah. I was like, I went into the surgical theater. And the doctor was like this young guy. He was like, I don't even know if he was 30. Like he was really young. And I had the head anesthesiologist there from the hospital, and I was like, okay, fine. You know, they all knew I was like, we're doing it this way, and blah blah blah. And he walked in. He's like, what surgery are you here for? And they ask, I don't know if you guys have had surgeries, but they ask you to make sure it's like a safety precaution. And I'm like, to become Wolverine. And like only the doctor laughed. The nursing staff looked at me weird, and that's another moment when I was like, I should fucking try stand up. Because anyway, but we had other questions. Where are we? Are we lost? Should we look at the Enneagram, or are we lost?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I like that's basically it. I just always like it's just weird to me that like when people just give birth and like some people get like My mom had a mirror where she could they had a mirror. You can see what's
Yeah, they offered me that
happening.
shit. I don't want to see that.
Ugh.
It's not that. It's
I mean, I guess because you're not feeling. It's just weird. You can't get those images out of your head.
yeah. Well, it's another reason why I never looked when I was pregnant. At the very end, and I gestured to the vajaz area.
Bajaj.
The vajaz is a new one. Everyone's like, you should look at it right before you give birth. Why? Why would I want to do that? I want to remember her, how we would hang out together. I don't, it's like when you go see somebody who's died of cancer horribly and you're like, is it closed casket? Because you want to remember them the way you loved them and when you had your best times. I don't want to ever see it like that. I don't judge her. Thank you very much for your service, ma'am. But
the jazz.
yeah, I don't want to have to look at her and be like,
Yeah.
I remembered her the way she was, and she looks the fucking same. So let's do this.
Yeah, that makes me not want to have kids because I like the state of my vagina right now, and I know
Yeah,
over
but I'll
time
tell you-
it'll age. I know it'll sag and get.
No,
I don't know
that's
what
not what
happens.
happens.
Oh, okay.
How much do you want to talk about?
Does it get? It dries up. It dries up, right? Because your body just dries up. Your skin dries up. Isn't that crazy? As you age, you're just deteriorating, and your body dries up.
I'm gonna eat more salt over here, don't mind.
Salt.
Is this making you uncomfortable, Jordan?
No.
We're giving
You
your book an audio
This is
book.
where the Mary Jane.
Is where it's going.
Mary Jane's the sole writer of this show.
So it's for our female listeners who want to just get there nice and deep. Do you guys have your results though?
No, I'm doing mine right now. I'm on paper.
You had one job!
I know.
I didn't
Then we-
finish it.
Then we had a good conversation.
I didn't finish it. Yeah.
And were you guys cooking dinner when I walked in?
Yeah.
We were more like
Dinner.
eating dinner.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
it was
so
leftover.
baking
I
it.
just heat stuff up from the fridge.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Why? What if you were to die right now? What would you choose to eat? Pretend you
But it
didn't
can magically show up?
eat any of this stuff, so you're not full. You ready to eat? Yeah, magically show up. This whatever you're asking for.
I can't give you if I were gonna die, but just because I'm stoned right now, I can tell you what I want to eat if it could magically show up.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
said.
Is this you have classic the same cravings every time you're stoned?
No, actually, well, I have moods, I guess. So
Mm-hmm.
I can have 3 weeks of just wanting this particular texture or flavor or something, but then it'll switch. I don't know. Do you guys have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
It
yeah.
depends. I can just be in this mode. I'm like, oh, this is really regular food habits. I used to when I did not smoke very frequently. I would be obsessed with raw broccoli and blue cheese.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I know,
Hmm.
and I just wanted raw broccoli.
Broccoli, raw and blue cheese.
Broccoli.
This is what did you crave when you were pregnant? Is it weird? Are those cravings weird? It changed
Yeah.
between each kid.
Yeah, but it wasn't I didn't have any of the really crazy weird ones. Some people will eat ashes and stuff. There's some crazy shit.
What the heck?
Yeah,
Lots of
some
nutrients.
will want to try to drink gasoline. There's also pica or pica or whatever.
Jordan, what would you do if I started craving? If I was pregnant and we were I started craving ashes and wanted to eat ashes.
I'd give them to you, baby.
Oh my god.
Anything for you.
I believe
And then
you.
he would be like, remember that time you ate
Stop
ashes?
me.
You're even doing that too.
Ah.
So no, I just wanted a lot of meat, but I didn't want to cook it because the smell of it cooking was bad.
I've heard that
I couldn't
people
handle
don't
that.
like the smell of chicken. That was the thing I've heard.
Well, that's
Amongst
chicken
many
flavor.
pregnant women. I'm talking to a lot of pregnant women in my past life. Yeah, but these are, I don't know. It's just
In
because.
your past life?
No, I was just making stupid jokes.
Oh, I was
No, it's also I'm saying having a brother that was 10 years younger. So then when you're old enough to understand shit or ask questions or that, you're, when my mom was going through that or whatever, or you're around people, then people he went to daycare with, and you're around a bunch of other moms, and then you're just they just talk about stuff.
Yeah, we all do. Because it's all new for us too.
Yeah.
So that's just a little kid interacting with a new situation. That's one of the main things I feel like milestones in life should just be called something else, like a trauma apex. Like, I mean, like, that's a bit more foreboding, but are you doing video right now? What are you doing?
No, I was doing the Enneagram.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay,
I want to
share.
hear yours first. I want to hear yours
Mine?
first.
I
Yeah.
already said
She explained
so.
it. Oh my
you
god,
said
how
yours?
high are you?
No, I think you just started your test.
Yeah,
I'm a 4 with a 5 wing. So when you look at your pie chart, okay, now we are starting the Enneagram test on Truity, the free one, that you can just take a screenshot of your like pie chart to get your numbers. So who wants to go first?
I'm on the last page of mine.
He's fired. I'm very excited.
Last.
So what is on your pie chart, you have the different numbers and then you've got percentages. So what are your top 3 and what are the percentages?
They did not give me percentages, unfortunately. They just gave me the pie chart.
Yeah, the pie chart, but then there's numbers like, oh, they don't tell you the percentage. It's like just the color, how much color is there. Can I see it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not explaining this very well, apparently.
No, mine was effed up.
Cool. So you are totally a 7. And then you have a 6
Whoa.
wing. Where's your other picture?
You're a 7 and a 6.
You're very close to a 2, though.
What is 7 and 6? What are these
2
numbers?
is caregiver. But I forgot what 7 is, but do you have the...
The enthusiast.
Yeah, I mean, so you're positive. That's my husband's a 7. I should probably remember that. I just refer to him as the enthusiast.
Alright, here are my results. I hope my phone doesn't die.
So then if you put in that you're, oh my god, your hair grew in. I just remember seeing all those pictures of your bald head.
Yeah,
Bald head because I
shaved
heard
his
got it
head,
late in the,
shaved
uh,
his
Yo,
head.
why did you
process.
shave your head like that? You had such great hair.
Because his hair was
People were talking smack about my hairline. Yeah.
What?
No, well, my reason why I wanted it shaved, you should ask me.
Me.
No, like it was, yes, probably his decision at the end, but I was just like, yeah, why don't we, because he shaved my head, because I was,
Wait, you have your hair too?
I shaved my head,
Do it
this
again,
was
apparently.
months ago.
The ghost wants you to do it again, though.
When the lights keep flickering. Yeah, so I just like, I don't know, just because like your hair would get like flatter to the top or be weighing down. I've had alopecia before, so like your hair is like, my hair is already really, really thin and
Is
it
yours
was thinning in parts and like, it felt so freaking good. Taking a shower when you like, it felt so good. And then, yeah, I don't know, just to keep your healthy, I think it's definitely healthy for people to like shave their heads.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah.
disagree with you. I was
Yeah.
thinking about it.
I wish I did it when I was younger. Yeah, Mom.
That's what I
if
keep
my
thinking
dad
too,
heard
like-
this, he'd be like, "I told you so."
Let me see your hair.
No.
Fine.
Can I change my chart?
Keep going.
My Enneagram thing?
Alright, Manny. Are you been wearing a wig for
Yeah, I wear
Instagram?
wigs.
Oh.
But it's a pixie now. It's like totally
Yeah,
good
it's
now.
cute.
But it's because I look like my older brother, so that's why I'm like, oh, Saul.
So is your-
can't look like him? Yeah. I've had a pixie cut before, but
Yeah, it looks adorable.
oh, stop.
No, I also went to hair school. So like I'm like
Yeah.
kind of like a hair judge. And I'm like, oh, somebody has new hair. Oh my god, what's going on? I like
Yeah.
But
I do
no,
like it short, yeah.
I also was thinking about shaving my head during the pandemic, but I was just like, all right, I don't think I can do this. I think it's gonna be I think it would be too much change, too much, too fast, and I mean, for me, I feel like it would be really cathartic. It would have been really cathartic, but I feel like it would have upset my kids more, honestly. Because like one really needs consistency, and Roz is so sensitive and emotional. She'd be like, "Well, why did you do this?" And like in the long run, my husband would be like, whatever. He wouldn't care. He'd be like, your hair's really short, but I've had it super short before.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, but you're bald. I'm like, yeah, get over it. And he'd be like, all right. And he'd be fine.
We should all shave our head. Oh, yeah, turn it off.
But then I decided not to last minute because it was really cold out. And that was the only reason why. But you look great.
Thank
Great
you.
intimacy cut.
It helps when people say I have good head shape.
You really,
You have nice
why
head
are you so
shape,
part of
I'm gonna
it?
shave it.
Yeah, you never know.
I
It's
feel like you should throw a tattoo on there. Like, I mean, you just go back down. I mean, you're already just, like, what, 3 inches out?
Yeah, do like a map of your brain on the outside of your head.
Oh my god, tattoos on your head sound super painful.
Yeah, it is.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, until it's
Yeah,
done.
but you just take some drugs first, you'll be fine.
Oh.
Yeah,
And then
Why you
I'll
care
have
about
the thing
it.
on my face. People think it's a teardrop, and I'll be like, nah.
Design
it's a
your head
comma.
for me, babe.
Your profile on both sides of her head, so like it's your head, your face is right near hers.
I hope people heard that. I don't know.
Damn it, it keeps locking.
It's
Fuck. Make your homepage.
there you go.
So protected.
You were a 2
What does that mean?
with a 3 wins, so you are a caregiver.
Aw.
You just want to do a good job. You're such a stay-at-home dad.
I can't wait.
Where's the shower on? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. You should look into the enthusiast because you're gonna be like me. Yeah. No, if you go and take your results
Yeah.
and then you just put in like the Enneagram enthusiast, it'll give you a whole bunch of information.
Cool.
You're like,
Excited.
I already read a book about this.
Yeah. I think one thing that test, it's like, because there's some questions that are almost exactly the same as other questions. And I'm like, I do this one, this
It's your
way.
gut reaction.
Yeah, but like there were some that the questions were almost the same, but the answers were not the same. And that kind of
It's all about
me.
your interpretation about it.
Yes, because there are definitely some where you have to like when you're like reading, you like you have to like it's written in a way. It's not that it's complicatedly written, but it's written in a way.
Just the fact that you find some of them like that proves that this works well, because to other people they wouldn't be confused at all, and to other people they would be confused but about a different aspect about that question. So I find that your statement gives it more validity.
Thank you.
Like
I'm happy to prove the test correctly. Are there certain personality types that does it say like if there are like personality types that you don't mesh well with?
No, it's not like astrology. It's just giving you a general like category for how you, and it's based upon how you react to these types of
So this is
situations.
fake because it's not like astrology?
I mean, are you technically a millennial?
Technically.
If you are technically a millennial, then yes.
I remember 9/11, so I'm technically a millennial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the bar.
That's the bar?
Yeah, that's the bottom bar.
How old were you guys?
I turned 9/11. I was
Six.
in 4th grade, I think.
Yeah, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Jordan and I are the same age.
Oh, alright. I was in high school.
What was that like?
It was intense for like 3 days. It was really confusing. I remember like I was going into my 10th grade history class, and the guy who taught it was this like super still incredibly militant ex-Navy guy or ex-Army guy. And he just was like gave this super dramatic, just put together heroic speech about the country and the military and retaliation. And I was just like, the fuck? Like but he was so dramatic about it. Like he was just like the most passionate groom at a wedding. Like he was so into his own speech about what's gonna happen now. And like he kept having speeches every day for the rest of the week because it happened on like a Tuesday. And like every single day for the rest of the week, he was just talking about the might of America, and I was just like, calm down.
Is this
Like-
mine?
Ugh. I'm surprised you are even with 2 and 3.
What is that?
Caregiver really want to do a good job. I'm an achiever.
Yeah.
You're for sure an achiever.
Yeah. Is that about right, Jordan?
Yeah, that's about right.
Which is nice too because you balance each other out. Your adult son here.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't even get into his cake. Now we're gonna have to eat.
Oh yeah, we have cake if you want cake.
What?
So
yeah,
good.
my boss
yeah.
gave me a cake for my birthday, and it is
Why have I eaten all this shit?
delicate.
Also, we have cupcakes that were not for Brendan's birthday, but they've now been adopted for Brendan's birthday.
Well, while we eat those yummy desserts and goodies, we're gonna sign off and thank you for being on the show.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
So people who are listening can go and get their munchies. You got 5 on the Celebrity Moms list.
Oh, thanks.
Not bad.
It's good.
Not
It's good.
I mean, like,
It's good.
That's
It's
good.
good.
Yeah, considering you start off by saying I don't give a shit about
I
celebrity
really
moms.
don't. It hurt. Those last few, they hurt.
Well,
Yeah.
it looked effortless.
Yeah.
It's-
Lauren, do you think that any social media handles or anything you want to plug or anything you want to be like, hey, watch out for this because this is coming at you soon?
Ooh, well, I guess I am the House of Chaos on Instagram. There's a bunch of underscore, and I just started another account called Conversational Whiplash. Because I actually was trying to get a podcast started for a bit. Didn't really have my focus yet, but I am going to be a latent ADHD adult, and I only want to interview people that are really passionate about a topic who also are neurodivergent.
Ooh, very cool.
So, I'm
love
talking
the
about how
idea of
it's-
it. Love the title.
Thanks. So conversational whiplash, much like what we were doing here. Because
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
let's just go ahead and drive all over this map.
Yeah.
So it's conversational _ whiplash. That's my new handle for the new podcast.
Yeah.
Anything,
Thanks.
Brendan?
enjoyed.
Yeah, and you guys just keep listening and watching out for Late Night Hump stuff. We got a ton of things in the works, things that are coming out. We got podcast-wise, we got I think we have one basically every day now coming out. We got Gemstones and Whiskey. We got Young Black Suburban, Young Blonde Suburban. We got the Weed Man's podcast. We got these lovely episodes of Sessions of Mary Jane and daily Return in the News with the Morning Shower. We got so much for you guys.
Yes.
Your eyes and ears can't take it, but we hope they do.
Oh my goodness!